I always forget what Eerie spell does. Doesn't that like make my PP small? SCREAMTAIL. If you've never seen it before, this is what it looks like. If you've never seen its stats before, this is what they look like. Typically it runs a Wish, Dazzling Gleam, Protect, Encore style set, maybe some Thunder Waves in there, but I think that's boring. You've seen that enough, and I've been using it all season long in my draft league. So this is what we're actually going to be running right here. We're going to do more of a Calm Mind stored power set, kind of a play on the Hatterene that's usually on this team, but I just kind of plugged in a SCREAMTAIL because I didn't feel like team building around it. And I've been laddering with this team a little bit, and it's actually pulling a lot of weight. All right, we got our first match, and it looks like a pretty, I don't want to call this a standard team, but I wouldn't call this a rare team either. I've seen a lot of Slowking Galars with Alamolas around. Teams in the past that I've had have really struggled with Chestnut, but I think, you know, our Ice Spinner with Scarf, our Iron Moth, I think we're going to be able to power through that, especially with the Psychic and Fairy presence that is SCREAMTAIL. Now, as for a lead, I've been having a lot of success with Breloom leads, especially with people fearing things like Spore, which surprisingly, this is a Breloom without Spore, which is not something you often see. I think we're going to lead Great Tusk and maybe just try and get some big damage off early. He's likely to Salt Cure or get up Stealth Rocks. I'd like to take away his healing by just getting like an early knockoff. So he goes for the Salt Cure. Okay. How can we take advantage of this? Now that it's Fairy, we're able to Sludge Wave it pretty nicely. And I think I might go for that, yeah. Even Overheat's able to take it on pretty nicely now. But we'll just go for the Sludge Wave because I don't really see a Sludge Wave resist on his team, other than this Slowking Galar, which could have eaten it very nicely, and he did not need to sack that. See, as he just goes straight into it then. So a lot of these things, he's probably going to click like Future Sight. Our Sludge Wave isn't doing a lot of damage. It's not really setup material unless we go Terra Steel with the SCREAMTAIL. This might be an opportunity for us to just go into our Garganical and get up some Stealth Rocks. I think that is our best idea in this situation. I always forget what Eerie spell does. Doesn't that like make my PP small? Let me just remind myself. /DT Eerie spell. That does removes 3 PP from the target's last move. So yeah, it gives you small PP. That's what it is. It's a small PP move. Hydreigon non-Flash Cannon variants are kind of hard countered by the SCREAMTAIL here. But I want to bait that out first. Go Corv. It ends up being a Draco Meteor, so I'm betting that's probably like Specs damage, maybe. Haven't really seen it yet. I'm just going to get a heal off. This is not Focus Sash, so yeah, I'm just going to U-turn on it. Ooh, that gets a lot of damage back. We U-turn, we go back into Tusk, and then we can just get knockoff. And the knockoff's going to be able to KO the Ceruledge or just get like some progress down on really any one of our opponent's Pokemon. So we get that Rocky Helmet off, and that's going to help so he's not able to just like wear us down with like Rocky Helmet plus Spiky Shield shenanigans. He could go for like a Leech Seed in this situation, as they tend to do, as well as a close combat's likely to KO. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. 52%. We could go for another one. We are going to be faster. But like, what if he tries to go Ceruledge? What do I do if he goes Ceruledge? I go into Garganical if he goes Ceruledge, so it's fine. We'll click close combat again. We go close, so we knew he was going to switch, but I just felt like it was safer to close combat and get some damage down and then react to whatever switch he wants to go to later. I'm going to go, wait, was Eerie Spell a move with base power? It was a move with base power. I'd like to find out more about this Slowking Galar. How badly do we actually need Breloom in this matchup? He has Mach Punch, which is good for Hydreigon, in case that's like a Scarf Hydreigon. We can go Garg again. When Eerie Spell came out, what did that do to us? Garg lost 23% of the Eerie Spell, so we'll go for it again and get like a Salt Cure off on whoever wants to come in. I think realistically that's our best decision in this situation. We're able to eat that up pretty well, and with double Leftovers recovery, it's barely doing any damage. Although it is sucking my PP. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep saying that. But we get a nice Salt Cure off on a Lamala, who's now really going to want to switch out. Are we faster? We're slower. So what I'm predicting here is probably like a flip turn situation, in which case we get another Salt Cure off. He's really losing a lot of health here. I'm just going to click it one more time. Yeah, he flip turns into something else, which is now going to be Salt Cured as well. So he ends up going to the Chestnut, and this is fine. Actually, I think this is fine. I'll go back into my Breloom. We lose it. And now how do we look? Maybe like our Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf's not good. Let's go and let's just click Sludge Wave on something, I think. Likely get a Slowking Galar and our Psychic. Yeah, he's never going to go Hydreigon in this situation, so we can just click Psychic here and get a ton of damage down on Slowking Galar. And by ton, I mean, like, we can get a little bit. We can get a little bit of damage. A little bit of damage never hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? Go back into Garg, Salt Cure. And we're going to have to recover here soon if we want to keep using Garganacl as, like, a wall. Let's go ahead and recover. So our opponent goes back into the Alomolamala. We can Salt Cure here. He tries to wish off some recovery. What would I like to do in this situation? I really want to get like that Screamtail going. I think the Screamtail going and maybe forcing a play from our opponent could be really, really good for us. As well as, how's the Terra Water in this matchup? It's not that great. Let's go Iron Moth and sort of oh, that's a lot of damage. Last time the Alomola was in, I was considering the fact that we were likely to see that. Now he can sort of Shadow Sneak on us. Let's go back into Garg. Yeah, prevent the Shadow Sneak KO. And we can now, we're just going to keep Salt Curing and just keep chipping down on this team. So that Cerule Edge is not, what, did we figure out if it's Sash or not? I forget. And now he's going to try and Witch Pass. I'm just going to Salt Cure again, and that should be the end of it. Hydreigon gets Salt Cured. I can Curse. Okay, that loses a ton of damage, but it shouldn't be able to KO anymore, so let's go for another Recover. Ooh, that can KO. That can KO. But it's an opportunity for me to start setting up Calm Minds with Screamtail, and I think we can actually sweep from here. I think that's basically GG. We do have to worry about this Cerule Edge still. However, our Scarf is going to mean we're able to beat it later on. Stored Power is not doing nearly as much damage as we'd like it to. I could go for this Terra Steel here, but I'm also pretty confident his Sludge Bomb is not going to be doing very much to us at all. Yeah, 26. So as long as we don't get critted, we're going to be able to wall this thing out and go for a bunch of boosts here. As well as we are outspeeding his entire team at this point, so we're going to be able to sweep this thing pretty nicely. What are we worried about in this matchup? Cerule Edge. Cerule Edge is our big worry. We're going to have to outsmart it with Terra. But I think we can comfortably go for Stored Powers and start sweeping now, especially because we've been put on a timer with the Poison. The one downside of this team is that these games do tend to take a lot longer than I'd like them to, so he ends up calling the Stored Power. Let's go for a Dazzling Gleam. Really, a Dazzling Gleam into anything should be hurting. If he was going to really outsmart me, he could have gone into Slowking Galar there and just taken nothing. He can Shadow Sneak here, but if we Terra, it doesn't KO. But if he Bitter Blades, we die. So how much smarter than him do I think I am? How badly do I need to not Terra? Ground. His ground resist is gone. Well, he still has a resist, but his ground neutrality is gone. And that makes me feel good. That makes me feel really good. So let's just Stored Power. He'll probably Shadow Sneak. That's fine, because now I get to start spamming Scarf Headlong Rush, and that's very good. He goes into the Chestnut. He's no longer Rocky Helmet, so we get 19% there. That's fine. What if I Terra Ground? Still not KOing, 38%. Terra Ground does 38%, so we need some chip down, I guess. Let's go ahead and roost off some damage here. Hopefully. I'm hoping this is like physical defensive with HP, so we can like get some real comfortable roosts off. And then we can U-turn or Brave Bird? That's a great question. I think we can U-turn. And we get some chip on the Alomolamala. And we go back into the Headlong Rushes. We're just going to click this again. So you can keep switching in that Chestnut. I'm going to keep headlong rushing into it. At this point, I think I just tear ground the headlong rush, get the bonus damage off. That's going to hopefully put the Chestnut into the 2-hit KO range. And that's going to work very nicely for me. So you might think you're faster, but you're not. Shadow Sneak. Can Shadow Sneak KO, we think? Shadow Sneak can do a lot. I'm going to go Corv here once again. And I'm just going to click Brave Bird. If he wants to stay in, we can KO. If he wants to switch, we can KO. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then Chestnut's down. That was my big concern. And now I believe we can just straight up win with Headlong Rush. We're just going to click Choice Scarf, Headlong Rush, and win the game. There we go. So, Terra Ground, Headlong Rush, plus a Choice Scarf. Like, this is just the kind of damage you can't get away from. Slowking Galar comes out, gets one-shotted. Cerule Edge comes out, Stealth Rocks. Ooh. He almost outsmarted me there. So, Shadow Sneak is still 4-hit KOing even after my defense drops, but, like, what if it's a critical hit, you know? I don't want to risk it. So we'll switch. Now even your defense is lowered. And I'll go for another Headlong Rush. So yeah, even your Shadow Sneak wasn't going to get through me. And that's an easy GG. 47 turns. So this SCREAMTAIL, I think, actually did do some work. It kind of forced our opponent to misplay and really created an opportunity because we were kind of getting danced around there. Breloom didn't get to do that much. I think I kind of lost it pretty early on in this match, if I'm not mistaken. How did I end up losing the Breloom? No, I think I got some good use. I got a lot of damage down in the Chestnut, absorbed some Leech Seeds. But how did I end up losing it? Did I sack the Breloom? Oh, there it is. There's the lost Breloom. I switched into Chestnut, who just Drain Punched and did a ton of damage. That's shocking to me. But then, what was I able to, like, go Iron Moth, and then he went Slowking Galar. Interesting. So that was a fun match. That is SCREAMTAIL for Paradox at the top. Check out the shorts, subscribe, like, and vote for who you want me to do next week. Take care, y'all.